All right, so this I know I banged my arm in it. But anyway, the link. See, this is why I need to be slow the fuck down. I'm hyped right now. You know why I'm hyped? Because when Ghetts, I knew Ghetts was in the process of recording an album, yeah, because I saw a couple posts here and there, like last 2020, I think it was around November. I forgot whatever. But anyway, there was a situation, and then I saw the post on a different page or whatever, and I'm like, alright, right. I left a comment. Little did I know, thanks to my cousin, even though I was gonna watch that video anyway, but thanks to one of my cousins, like he said, oh, Ghetts has mentioned you in this song, innit? Or basically, yeah. So I checked it out, and this is what he said. Yeah. So it's interesting how, and I mentioned about the album as well. So that's why I'm gassed and the hype and all that stuff there. And Ghetts, believe it or not, he is one of the GOATs. You have to believe in it. He is the GOATs, especially in the UK scene. Like, he is the GOAT. Like flow wise, delivery wise, everything, cadence, content, everything. Like, I think, excuse me, I don't know. It's like he always elevates to another level, no matter what. Like, he always elevates to another level. But anyway, let's get to the album. The album's called Conflict of Interest. One thing I like about the artwork is very creative. I believe, who was it? There was someone. I want to give them their credit. I don't want to say I came up with the idea, but because it wasn't me. I just can't remember who it was. But they said something about was it Young T or Bugsy, or both of them? Anyway, they mentioned three-headed goat, and I think, that actually makes sense, because if you're aware about Ghetts, there's Ghetts, Ghetto, and J Clark. Yeah. Now, the first one, you can say he's probably like on the left-hand side where he's smiling. That's basically J Clark. Yeah. On the right side, you can say that's Ghetts. Do you see what I mean? Because he's not really smiling per se. Like, he's just concentrated, but he's focused. And then in the middle is that cheeky chap, Ghetto. You know that's Ghetto. Because he's like, oh, I'm going to come out and I'm going to show you. You get me? I'm ready to cause trouble. I'm ready to cause havoc. That's that look. I know that look. You know why I know that look? Because I created that look. Well, I didn't create that look, but, you know, in my childhood and all stuff like that, I would always give that mischievous look. So, yeah. And if Ghetto is that high, there is a difference between Ghetts. There's a difference between Ghetts, Ghetto, and Ghetts. No, Ghetts, Ghetto, and J Clark. There is a difference. In fact, I will do. I think there's a vid. No, I know there's a video of him talking. Anyway, I'll react to a particular video to explain that. Do you see what I mean? But let's get into the actual album. So the artwork is sick itself. Like, it's fucking sick. There's basically 16 tracks on here. So there's Fine Wine, Mozambique featuring JK and Moonchild Sanetti, sorry. Then there's Fire and Brimstone. Then there's Hop Out. Then there's Icy Free featuring Skepta. Then there is Autobiography. Then there's Good Hearts featuring Ada Lee. Then Dead to Me. Then there's 10,000 Tears featuring Ed Sheeran. Yes, Ed Sheeran. If you saw the track list before, you should already know this by now. And then there is Sonia featuring Emily Sandy. Then there's Proud Family. Then there's Skengman featuring Stormzy and Ghetto. Then there's No Mercy featuring Parsalu and Backrow G. Then there's Crud featuring Giggs. Then there is Squeege featuring Mira May. And then there's Little Bo Peep featuring Dave Hamza and Wretch Freak 2. So, you know, quite a number of features on there. I believe there is one other track. I don't know if it's Fire and Brimstone, where it does feature some vocals from Dizzy Rascal, and I believe in that same track, was it that track? I can't remember. He did use a Roll Deep, but also a Dizzy Rascal type of flow, or not flow. It was a flow, but also like similar bars. Not to say that he was cutting the bars, but I think it was more or less letting you know that he's paying a homage as well. I think that's a good look, because like, I feel like Dizzy Rascal don't really get. Well, he does get his props, but he doesn't really get his props like that. You see what I mean? So to get his props from someone like Ghetts, and even I swear, um, Dizzy Rascal mentioned as well that the influence of Ghetts in the ends prior to music or whatever, something like that. I can't remember what it was. Um, and I do like autobiography as well. I believe that's one of my favorite tracks. Because it's just he mentioned about Stormin, he mentioned about um Marcus Nasty, he mentioned about Sharky Major. If you don't know who those are, I feel sorry for you, but those guys were part of a crew called Nasty Crew, yeah, and so it's an interesting thing where they can hone in their skills, and if there's any issues, then you know what I mean. Like they can call it a real brotherhood. You know what I mean. They're from the real brotherhood. This is a major look these days. Like you have to understand the levels when you're trying to, come off from doing illegal stuff and all that stuff there. And I think he mentioned something else. I can't remember what else he mentioned, but it's definitely a great listen. It's a great album to listen to. Like I'm trying to be non-biased because obviously, but like it is a great album to listen to. Like it's like sometimes they say your first body work is your first album is basically no one can really reach go above their first album. I generally think what Ghetts has done here, he's gone above and beyond. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he said something about how what was it? I can't remember what song it was. He mentioned like about he doesn't want to be known for his past like that or something like that. He wants to his best years are ahead of him, and this is proof. Even though now technically this is kind of past, but I say technically or because of timing mathematically, but this is proof that or evidence that the best years are ahead of him. Like they really are. So if you think that if you know about Ghetts, yeah, and you know he is the GOAT in the scene, like the GOAT in the UK scene, you know he is. Like he is your favorite MC's favorite MC. Yeah, I know I said that about DEE, which is still true. That he is your favorite. He's your favorite MC's favorite MC, but so is Ghetts. Yeah, Ghetts is another level. I don't think Ghetts is human. Like I swear to you, I don't think Ghetts is human. Like although it's not on this track, I know. Although it's not on this album, he's got a song called My Sperm. In fact, I believe it. Yeah, he got a song called My Sperm, which is interesting because that's exactly what he has done for the scene. Like he has created so many other MCs with similar flows, with similar cadences. You see what I mean? Like, and the fact that he's got a tune with Back Row G, like, alright, you could say like Back Row G is like if I was to explain Back Row G to anyone, and not just to anyone, but if I was to explain about who Back Row G is, his energy levels are similar to Ghetto, Crazy Titch, and Temper T. Yeah? So, do you see what I mean? So, if you know about Ghetto's energy, the levels are insane. Like, I'm telling you, if you want to work out, like, I'm telling you this for now, if you want to work out, yeah, play any Ghetts track, yeah, especially from this album as well, like Skegman, IC3 featuring Skepta. And that's another thing. I really did a reaction video to IC3, I think. I did, but it got blocked. But anyway, they mentioned something about I think let me get to it. Like there was a few things that were there's basically quotables on this album, right? There's quotables. So let me see if I can get to it. Let me see if I can get to it. Alright, so basically in IC3, he says, "Don't tell me, go back where I came from when the queen sits there in stolen jewels." Yeah? Caption. Boom. Then in the same song, IC3, which is Skepta's bars, he goes, "The queen offered me the MBE. I said no and raised my fist. I went home and got my chieftaincy." What can I say? Then there's another quote from Ghetts where he says, "People say they want the truth, but they settle for dishonesty." Unfortunately, that's unfortunate facts, right? Then he also goes to say in another song, I don't know, probably the same song, I'm not too sure, where he says, if you don't tell your story, who's going to tell it for you? Alright, so look, leave your answer in the comment section below. If you don't tell your story, who's going to tell it for you? Deep it. I want to know, leave your answer in the comment section below. If you don't tell your story, who's going to tell it for you? And tell the complete truth. Be open, be honest. Don't be afraid about how people are going to think and feel about you. I'm not going to lie, there was a point where I was feeling afraid and of how people would think and feel about me. But now I just simply don't give a fuck. I'll be real with you. I don't care. Like, my life is my life. It is what it is. I'm accountable for the decisions I have made. Yeah. Get me, I own up to my mistakes. Get me, I learn from my L's. Get me, take the L off. I start earning from my L's. There you go. You see what I'm saying? And you could do the same too. There's another thing Ghetts said. How can, yes, I said, he says, I don't understand why some men buy sex, whatever, want a refund. That is hilarious to me. That's hilarious because it's true. It's true. Then Ed Sheeran, I don't know if I said it right, but in the quote, there's another quote where Ed Sheeran says in the song with Ed Sheeran, he says, I think it's 10,000 Tears. He mentions, I know in dark times we are one and the same, so you can relate to the struggle and pain. That's a deep bar. Listen to, like, I'm gonna re-say that one more time. Ed Sheeran, yeah, says, I know in dark times, yeah, we are one in the same, so you can relate to the struggle and pain. And then Dave, the one with Dave, he goes, the problem ain't following, it's what you choose to follow. What if we choose to follow all the things we used to follow? And I can answer that question, yeah? What if we follow all the things that we used to follow? Now, I don't follow all the things that I used to follow, but there are some things that I still follow that I started following back again. I feel like, I don't want to say I feel like a child, don't get it twisted, but I feel more of myself. Do you see what I mean? Because there was a point where I felt I didn't feel like I was myself and I wasn't as confident. So going back gives you that confidence. It's hard to explain. I guess that's why nostalgia is such a big thing, because it gives you a sense of looking back. And I don't explain it. I need to explain nostalgia in a different video to really go into detail. So there's so many quotables, so many quotables. That's just from a few things. So on that note, I'm going to give this album a 10 out of 10. I definitely listen to it again, because when you do reviews, I realize when doing reviews, you have to really listen to it to really give a full rounded review. But from what I've heard first time round, like, it is a major, like, it needs to be, Ghetts needs to be heralded in terms of having this album go #1. Do you see what I mean? Having loads of streams, loads of downloads, loads of buys. He needs to be reaching. You see where Stormzy is at financially, but also hitting the charts consistently. Ghetts needs that. Ghetts needs that and deserves that. Yeah? But the link to the album is in the description box below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification, because you never know the video you suggest might just be next.